You're listening to Garden Master Ken Lain and the Top 10 Gardener Podcast. Welcome to the Top 10 Garden Show.
All right, so we are back in the studio with Lisa Waters-Lane. She comes each week with your garden questions, just what's going on in your neighbor's yard. So welcome to the studio, Lisa.
Thank you. Good to be here, as always.
How good is it to be here?
It's air conditioned in here, so
Yes.
I'm happy.
It's been a warm one this week,
It
so it's
has,
finally,
it has.
I mean, to be in the 90s, June 90s,
Yeah.
goes together.
Right.
But the humidity later in the week started to go up. Like, now it's 90s and humid, 30% humidity.
That's for us, though. That's a lot. So, yeah, that heat's just been a little rough lately, but you find cool places to hang out.
Shade. Lots of shade. You run from shade. That's why we have so much greenhouse glass.
Yeah.
Yes, it controls the spring cold, but then we've got automatic shade structure. Shade it draws over the, so it gets the sun out of the greenhouses. So you kind of jump from one greenhouse to the other greenhouse to the tree racks.
Yeah.
And
then you just squirt yourself with a hose while you're out there too.
we need customer umbrellas. Everyone's issued an umbrella so you can walk out and shop the shrubs. And
okay.
maybe that's too much.
I'll work on that.
Yeah, no. So anyway, this is garden questions.
So it's garden questions. So Dan would like to buy his father a Father's Day gift of a fast-growing shade tree for his new home that he has out in Chino. And he wants to know what recommendations you would have.
So Chino Valley, there's some beautiful trees. Actually, that whole valley from Prescott Valley, Chino Valley, Paulden, that whole area is sort of the same. And so I would even say Dewey, that Dewey where you get that tunnel effect through those hills. But you need trees that can take sun, wind, and they've got that hard pan, that soil. And then most people are on wells out there. Not everyone, but most people have a well. So they tend to terribly overwater things. It's just amazing how much, when water's free, you just every day let it run nonstop. And so it just kind of, you need trees that can handle that. And so, some ideas. Fast growing shade tree as a Father's Day gift.
Yes.
Perfect weekend for that. And so I would start with sycamores. One of the biggest growing natives. There's a Arizona variety and a European called Blood Good variety. And fast growing, big leaf, thick shade, takes the wind. We take all that what we're talking about. One that's sort of like that, there's a lot of them up and down that valley, is Autumn Blaze maple. It's a big growing maple. It's the fastest growing of the red maples. And so it gets up maybe 35, 40 feet tall, kind of 20 feet wide, and it gets there fast. And thick shade. Again, it's a very good tree. Uniquely made to handle the wind. It doesn't get that leaf tear that so many maples get. Neither does a sycamore. What else? Golden locust.
Locust would be
That'd be a good one. So
some of the elms, like the Princeton elm, would be an amazing tree out there.
Now don't plant Siberian elm or Chinese elm. It's a weed. Truly, its seeds come up everywhere. But there's new varieties we've bred. That there's a alley elm, gets bright red in the fall, doesn't get the seeds, grows fast, super deep rooted, very drought hardy, doesn't get the elm leaf skeletonized. It's got everything you want from the elm, like the native elms that grow around here, but without all the problems. We bred all that out. There's an American elm. We saw the one that's downtown Prescott. That would grow very well in Chino Valley. It gets big, like instant shade.
Lots of options to come check out.
Oaks. I keep ash. You've got to come in here or shop top10trees.com. Top 10, the number 10 trees.com takes you right to our website, and all the trees that are out there. It shows you the description, the size, the price. You can do all your research. You can even buy it there, pick it up in store, but probably best. It's
come
a
in
gift.
And take a look at it.
Come in. Come see us.
Definitely. Okay. Meg is in Prescott. She has a very dark shade spot in part of her house that she wants some shorter shrubs and some flowering perennials.
Oh, okay. That's pretty easy.
So, yeah.
Actually, it's harder to grow that kind of area than it is in sun. There's actually more choices for the sunny spots because that's the kind of environment we are at.
Right.
But dry shade is actually you can do that. It's just a little bit more. The choices aren't as broad.
Right.
Of course, number one selling flower for dry shade, hostas. I mean, just it's number one seller. I think it's the number one perennial sold in the country.
Is it really?
Yeah, but because of the East Coast,
yeah,
folks,
say not here.
They're crazy, but it does well here too. And animals seem to leave it alone. It's just a great little plant.
Sure.
It is truly a perennial. What are some others? Rock rose? No, that's more of a sun.
I was thinking some of the Roxanne geraniums.
Oh, sure.
Perennial
geraniums. Yeah.
Bugleweed.
Sure.
Not bugleweed. What's it called? Bugle.
I don't know. I'm thinking the number one, though, a true weed is vinca or periwinkle's another name. Just a ground cover that just grows. You got to make sure it stays in check or it can take over an area. But columbine, just all kinds of clematis.
Gracewood, Lithidora.
Lithidora's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going off on Latin, people. That's
no,
good.
It's not Latin.
The shrubs, you're looking at yews, hollies, hydrangeas.
Yeah.
Do amazingly well. We've got pinks and whites and blues. Does really well here. And they'll come back year after year for you. So that's another one. We've got two sections of nothing but shade type of plants. So come in and take a look and something will call to you. That's so unique. And look at some of the variegated varieties, the creamy colors, the bright golds, a Cuba, like Aruba. It looks tropical. It
does.
But it's hardy as can be. It's got a big glossy evergreen leaf, but it's got glossy green with speckled gold. It's very pretty and a bright
and it's a dark evergreen. I mean, you would never think that shrub would live here, but we have one in our backyard underneath our
two.
We have two.
I planted another one. I liked it. I had another spot that was kind of dry, that it was shady. It's underneath the mimosa. I thought, I'm going to try that. And it's just thriving. Great. It's gone sub-zero with us several winters. Yeah. So it's just a great little plant. That's someone does good.
Yeah. Okay. So come in, check them out. Sandy has a question. She has a peach tree that all of a sudden is starting to drop as peaches.
Oh, no.
They're not ripe. She wants to know what's going on with that.
So it's stressed. You should watch it. It's hot. Yes, it's hot. And so it's not unusual for pitted fruits to shed. Pitted fruits shed in June. Very, very common. And what happens is the plant, they load up with too many fruits, too many plums, too many cherries, too many apricots, nectarines, peaches. And so you get too many of them. And so now it's gotten hot. Your irrigation that you had can't quite, the plant wants more moisture than it's getting or receiving, or it's hotter. It could actually be it's perspiring faster than it can take up from the roots. Literally, the roots only have so much capacity. And then if it perspires faster, it's hot, faster than it can take in water, it can drop fruit. So it'll self-prune.
Right.
Now, if the leaves are turning yellow, that's different than fruit drop. So I'd say you probably want on any pitted fruit at least half the fruit to go away. Otherwise, you're left with hundreds and hundreds of little tiny plums, little tiny peaches, little tiny fruits, and it's all pit, no flesh. So you really do need to thumb prune some of that fruit off of there, and that'll help the fruit that remains to be larger. So it's not concerning to have some fruit drop. I think most folks freak out. They see 3 peaches on the ground and they need to see 103, and they're going, "Oh no, what do I do?" It's common. And then I would obviously water. You might even supplement, hand water some extra. Put a soaker hose around that. That'll help that plant. You make sure that all the roots are hydrated instead of just where those 2 drip emitters are. That could be part of it too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I've seen way too many people with their emitters way too close to the trunks of their trees. You got to move them out, people.
Yeah. And increase the numbers. So great questions this week, Lisa. Thanks for coming in. So Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. We'll be right back. grow your own vitamins.
We can show you how to grow your own vegetables and herbs for a healthier you.
Water's plants are entirely organic, with plant genetics never altered and non-GMO.
Natural vitamins straight from the garden with naturally healthier herbs and vegetables.
Healthier plants for a healthier you with plants from Waters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Shop Waters in-store or online at watersgardencenter.com. You're listening to Ken Lain, aka the Top 10 Gardener. Ken can be found throughout the week in Prescott at Waters Family Garden Center. Listen daily as he answers the top 10 questions of the week, streaming on Apple, Google, Spotify, or wherever you download your podcasts.